Hi, I'm Cody from Wall Street Breakdown. We talk a lot about what YouTube does. Shout out to YouTube, that's where we are. But there's other companies out there streaming a lot of original content. One of those companies that's really trying to gain market share on YouTube is Amazon. Now, Amazon was in the news today because there's a lot of canoodling going on between Amazon and a lot of high-end advertisers. Amazon is really trying to get a lot of advertisers on board, despite some discrepancies in their numbers compared to advertisers over at YouTube. But they might have a bit of an ace in the hole. We got to remember that it wasn't too long ago that YouTube had to set up new guidelines in regards to monetizing videos because there was a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't have been monetized. Let's just put it that way. We like YouTube, you're cleaning up your act around here. Let's find out what Amazon's actually doing. So Amazon has a service called Amazon Video Direct, which allows content creators to upload their videos to the Amazon service. They can choose to have advertising on them. They can choose to have the videos cost money to watch. There's all sorts of options, but it's much similar to what YouTube does. So the Amazon approach basically is going to be that this is going to be inappropriate restriction heavy. You know, like there's not going to be no games. It's going to be, everything is going to be reviewed. It's going to be strictly reviewed. And then it's going to be streamlined to the advertisers that make the most sense, which I do like because I think, you know, like when you consider what advertisers, what should be advertising on what, you really have to take into consideration the demographic. Forget about the views, right? I mean, ultimately what you're talking about is who am I speaking to? I mean, right now I'm talking to people who are probably thinking about potentially investing in Amazon or potentially investing in their competitor, Google, i.e. Alphabet, right? You people out there are probably in a different market space, let's say, than people who might be watching a Minecraft video. No problem with a Minecraft video, but there's a big variance in what the advertisers should actually be advertising for. So, in this case, Amazon wants to really streamline that process, and they want to make sure that nothing inappropriate gets through. And that's a really good idea, obviously. One of the other ideas that they've bandied about is they want to have the vetted video content creators. So, guys that have a track record, not just anybody. They want to get the guys that are doing the good work on Amazon, the guys that people seem to like the most, and that fall within the most advertiser-friendly guidelines that Amazon wants to set forth. So what they want to do is they want to get these advertisers and the content creators together to make actually sponsored content. And then Amazon ends up getting a cut. So do your content creators, so do the advertisers, and everybody kind of ends up winning. But of course, it's going to have to be like kind of a marriage made in heaven, right? So what we're looking at for the numbers ends up being that about 13.2 billion in 2017 is being spent on advertising on the internet. Video ad sponsoring. So when we're talking about that amount of money, I mean, that's a big market space. That's a lot of cash to be spread around. You really need to get the viewership though. It's a matter of bringing the viewership in, because if you bring in the best advertisers first, but the viewership isn't there, the advertisers are going to leave and they might not be so keen on trusting you the second time down the road, even if you do then get your viewership numbers up. So while Amazon has the ability to coax advertisers, I think Amazon's big concern is probably going to be making sure that they've got the content that's going to bring people, because when you start looking at the content, the numbers, you look at Amazon, they got 310 monthly active users, 310 million, and YouTube has 1.5 billion monthly active users. So, you know, fivefold. It's a significant difference. So if YouTube can clean up its act, it's entrenched so much more already. So Amazon has to play cleanup. But Amazon's trying to kind of circumvent the rules a little bit by saying, you know, like, we're going to go above and beyond content creator wise by doing this. Content creator, advertiser, sponsored video, everybody kind of gets paid, but they are still doing something relevant to what that content creator's channel would definitely cater to. So it's very smart in that sense. And they're also going, again, above and beyond and saying that, you know, any inappropriate content is not going to be tolerated. They're going to be all over that, and there's going to be a real strict guideline process to even getting your stuff uploaded with monetization available. So I don't know what you want to make of that, but I think Amazon has a long way to go, and they spend a lot of money on this, just like they spend a lot of money on their original content on their streaming sites. I'm not entirely sure if this is viable, but I commend them on trying to catch up. They really seem to be trying to overtake so many different demographics at one point in time, or so many different sectors. You just see them moving around, doing so many different things between Whole Foods and this. I mean, it's just, at what point in time are they spread so thin? I mean, I'm not saying it could happen, because there's other companies that do perfectly well that way, but then there's tons of companies like HP and GE and a bunch of other companies that we've spoken about multiple times that spread too thin, ends up becoming more of a cluster than you really want to handle, right? Like, it's just, nobody knows what's going on because you're running 500 different departments. You tell me what you think. If you're going to invest in Amazon, if you're going to invest in Alphabet, anything like that, please consult with your licensed professional financial advisor. I'm Cody from Wall Street Breakdown. Click the subscribe button, notification bell, thumb up for the video, leave me a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Love you guys. Have a nice day.